covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
Today on Action News Now, an updated Butte County wildfire plan has been approved. We show you the upgraded prevention methods. Plus,
policy and personal interest combined, I would really like to see us restore tule elk and pronghorn populations, just connecting these preserves through the foothills.
Yeah. On this week's Straight from the Source podcast, Addison Winslow opens up about everything from increasing wildlife to being the only liberal Chico City Council member for years. We have the highlights coming up. But first, blue and sunny skies are in store. We take a look at your forecast. Here's a live look from the Chico Airport through the Northgate Aviation Jet Center camera. It looks like a good day to fly today and take to the sky. That's where we check in with Court Klopping. Court, are these clear skies here to stay?
Well, they're here for today, and we can enjoy them through this afternoon, but we'll have a little changes of pace throughout the week. It is spring in Northern California, and that's going to leave us with some fluctuating conditions in your extended forecast. But as we head into this afternoon, bright out there. Here's the live view from the Deer Creek Highway camera. You can see Highway 32 right here. This is just east of Chico, looking west over the valley, and it's just clear skies overhead now. And it's going to be a great day to grab those sunglasses, get out and about for some fresh air. Satellite and radar the last 3 hours, just seeing sunshine overhead, and temperatures warming up really nicely. 64 degrees for Chico with sunshine, wind out of the northwest at 9 miles an hour. Redding 71 degrees, north wind at 12 miles an hour and sunny skies. Currently 71 for Red Bluff, sunshine with those north winds. And 69 degrees for Orville with sunny skies overhead. So just sunshine across the board. Heading into this afternoon, those temperatures climbing up into the lower to mid 80s with more sunshine on the way. So a really nice Monday afternoon. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll be tracking even warmer temperatures ahead this week and when wet and cooler weather is returning in your extended forecast.
All right, thanks, Court. New at noon, a car was sent flying over an embankment after a teen driver rear-ended that driver. This happened in Glenn County on Saturday. 36-year-old Albert Kobrovisky of Carmichael was coming to a stop at an intersection of Highway 32 and County Road N when a 17-year-old driver who was speeding was unable to slow down in the time and rear-ended Kobrovisky, where his car went flying over a dirt embankment. Now, Kobrovisky suffered minor injuries and the teen and the teen's passenger were unharmed. No one was arrested. Classes resumed today at Pleasant Valley High School after a building caught fire 2 times Friday night. This photo was sent in by Bonnie south of the second fire, and you can see flames and smoke coming through the roof of the art building, known as the D building. The first fire was reported Friday at around 4:20 p.m., then a second fire in that same building around 7:45 p.m. The school lost internet and phone service, and the principal told us service has been restored to all but one of the buildings. Crews are on the campus today, and the principal said they won't know the full extent of the damage to the building until a structural engineer assesses it, but there is significant water damage. The build houses the art and special education classes. A fence now surrounds that building, and air purifiers will be added to the surrounding buildings. And we have a traffic alert for you if you drive Highway 99 into Tehama County. Today, Caltrans will start work on Highway 99 and South Avenue near Vina. You may see delays up to 14 minutes, and they are adding a roundabout. Work will include an excavation and installation of a center island and new signs. There's a new push to keep you safe from wildfires. Butte County leaders approved some changes to the local wildfire plan. Action News Now reporter Diego Montezuma breaks down the upgraded prevention methods.
The Community Wildfire Protection Plan was first created in 2006 to generate projects that reduce risk. The plan is updated every 5 years, but this time around it was more than an update, it was a massive overhaul. One common theme, though, throughout the years, fuel reduction is key. And that's what one campfire survivor tells me she does to get at least some peace of mind.
It's very important to keep fuels away from your home. I cut down a couple trees last year because they were so close to the house. It didn't feel safe having them that close. So yeah, I think it's important to keep your properties cleared and fire safe.
CAL FIRE says that's why it's important to think about things like defensible space even before things heat up and dry out. Some of you may be familiar with the term fire season. Well, CAL FIRE says it's not just one particular season, it's all year round.
There's always the potential for fire throughout the state, as we saw this year with so many major fires happening in January.
As for the county's new blueprint, the plan incorporates ideas from a number of community stakeholders. The fuel reduction projects it includes involve local organizations to increase pile burning in prescribed fires. Some of the key areas are Bidwell Park and Lindo Channel. The plan still needs local approval, including the green light from the Butte County Fire Safe Council, before it can be sent to the state to be finalized. But before you get to work on your property, keep in mind, starting at the beginning of May, anybody who lives in Butte County who plans to burn yard waste on their property must have a burn permit. In Chico, I'm Diego Moctezuma with Action News Now.
The plan was moved forward by the Butte County Board of Supervisors last week, and money to pay for the projects comes from the California Climate Initiative. New this at noon, Reading police arrested a man for trying to assault an off-duty officer. Police say Reading Police Explorers, which are children between 14 to 18, were working a community event on Saturday near Park Marina Drive and Sundial Bridge. They said the suspect, 62-year-old Norman Valdez, began yelling profanities at some of the explorers and directing slurs toward two female community service officers. That's when an off-duty officer tried to de-escalate the situation. Police say Valdez tried to assault him, and Valdez was taken into custody. He was arrested for assaulting an officer, public intoxication, and resisting arrest. This week on our podcast, Straight from the Source, we hear from Chico City Councilmember Addison Winslow about his passion for change, working odd jobs, and fending off big cats. Take a listen.
My eyesight's not that good, and the sun was kind of going down, and I kind of came around a bend, and I was like, what is a giant dog doing out here? And then it jumped away, and I saw that little puff at the end of the tail, and I was like, that wasn't a dog, that was a mountain lion. Yeah, I had this little tiny pocket knife I pulled out, and I was like running up there, like trying not to turn my back. So if we want to solve homelessness, we need to find an alternative, acceptable style of home. And this is when people talk about managed campgrounds, which is a very low bar for
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
But
It's
these different kind of like
campground.
No. But what's the alternative right now? I spent a lot of years hitchhiking around and living in different cities around North America. I've never been off of North America, but I've lived in Mexico, lived in Canada, and a lot of parts of the United States. And I think that was a super enriching experience. That I know it's like a weird thing, most people aren't going to be able to do that, but like hitchhiking around, you meet people. Like, well, you sit in passenger seat, and like people pick you up because they want to talk to you. When I worked for an electrician, my first like big construction job, the majority of like service calls that we got was like changing a light bulb.
I don't feel like my sewer rates went up very much, maybe doubled. It seemed fair. $20-$30 a month or something is what I pay for my sewer. Why are these businesses in a small space? Like, how could they be paying thousands suddenly for the sewer rate?
Well, I mean, if
The full unedited conversation is available now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on our Action News Now homepage and YouTube page. Straight ahead, Harvard University and President Trump face it off in court over federal funding cuts. But first, two special guests share with us why you should take a trip to the theater this weekend.